So let's talk about Donald Trump for a second. And one of the many things I've said that makes you angry sometimes is that you shouldn't worship the guy, obviously. You shouldn't. You shouldn't worship anybody. You don't put your faith in human beings. So this is where human beings go. But the thing about Trump is that he is a product of leftist culture, right? He is a guy, a New Yorker. And when Ted Cruz said he has New York values, and Trump, beat him to death with that, but Cruz was right. He is a New Yorker. So all of this stuff about sex, the thing that really is crazy about sex with Stormy Daniels, right? Every day in the New York Times, and I use the New York Times as an excellent example of the old left that's the lies that have permeated our country. Every day there's a thing about, oh, isn't it wonderful? Here's a fellow who dresses in leather and beats people. And isn't that wonderful? And here's a sex club, and here's a throuple, and here's a quadruple, and here's a different, here are gay people sleeping with other gay people and then sleeping with straight people, it's whatever. But don't have sex in marriage, because that, you can have a happy marriage with it. But that's marriage, blah. I heard this rabbi, Jonathan Sachs, one of the great rabbis of England, say that he once said to the BBC, "You've done so many shows about marriage. How about one in which it looks good?" I think that's the New York Times. But when Donald Trump cheats on his wife, which is fine because that's, it's just sexual expression, now it's a problem. Suddenly it's a problem. He's them. Trump is them. He's a product of them who said, you know what? This is what made him so powerful, is he said, this system is corrupt. I know because I've used it. I've paid these guys off. I've, manipulated them. I know it's corrupt because I've been in it. That was his whole pitch. And he operated in real estate in a city full of Democrats. He operated in show business in a business full of Democrats. He is them, and that's why they hate him. They hate him just like they hate blacks who break out of the left-wing, plantation, just like they despise women who won't buy into feminism, just like they despise Jews who say, you know what, I'm a conservative. They hate Donald Trump because he said, this is a corrupt system. I know how to manipulate it. I can manipulate it for the good instead of the bad. And that's why we love him. We love him because he turns their methods against ourselves. And that's why the Never Trumpers hated him, because they felt that was corrupting to us, right? They felt that we were supposed to be the good guys. And when we join him, we're essentially becoming the product of a left-wing, of a left-wing system that invented Trump, that produced Trump. New York City produced Trump. The real estate business in New York produced Trump. Hollywood produced Trump. And so basically the Never Trumpers were saying, wait, we're becoming him. It certainly was a problem. But the thing is, he did turn against it. Great poem. Let me talk about something that the way I think about things. Great poem, Paradise Lost. I've talked about it before, John Milton's epic poem about the fall of man, right? Every undergrad, every college kid and non-graduate college kid who first reads Paradise Lost, including me, thinks Satan is the hero because he stands up to the power of God. So it's like he's an independent guy standing up against the tyranny. But the whole purpose of the poem, I remember when I wrote that in a paper, my professor said, this is applesauce, I said, anybody who stands up against a power as great as God's must be a hero. And he said, that's ridiculous. Well, that was Milton's point. Milton's point was that because he had helped overthrow the king. He had been on the side of the revolution where the king was beheaded, King Charles was beheaded. So Milton was making the point that, yes, you can stand against a king because a king is a man, but Satan was wrong because he stood against God, and God is goodness. So when you stand against God, everything you do is bad. You become hell itself. But the thing is, the Democrats think that they're goodness. They think that they're God, but they ain't. And so they have turned Donald Trump into a hero. He is a hero. When you stand up against a power that includes the academy, that includes Hollywood, that includes the news media, that includes the court system now, that includes anybody who thinks that they can lay a hand on this guy and stop him, and you stand up to them as he has, he's going to be giving a press conference, because this is recorded, he's going to be giving a press conference. I don't know what he'll say, but I very much doubt it's going to be, I give up, I surrender. It's just up to them. And that is what has made him a hero. And so when I talk about the Never Trumpers, guys of conscience, Jonah Goldberg, he's a man of conscience. He's not a bad person. He's not somebody who's saying, I hate this country, like Alvin Bragg is, He's actually a person of conscience. David French, person of conscience. But they're mistaken now. They have made a mistake. context in which Donald Trump lives is that he is now our hero. You wanted a better hero? So what? I'm sure the Jews wanted a better hero than Samson. The guy was a clown. Trump reminds me a little bit of Samson, with the girls and all this stuff. But Samson was a hero because of the people he stood against, the Philistines, or as we call them now, the Palestinians. That's why a lot of these billionaires are now sending Trump money. I mean, these are guys, Sean McGuire is in Silicon Valley. He sent him $300,000. Ackman said he may back him now. And he's a liberal. He's a liberal. They understand that liberalism is on the line. Liberalism in the good sense of this is on the line. All right. So look, I told you a long time ago, I told you more than a year ago, the dark times were coming, that I'm an upbeat person by nature. I have no reason not to be. I've seen very dim things, very dark things happen in the world, and there has been rescue. I saw New York when it was worse than it is now, and Giuliani saved it. I saw America when it was as bad as it is now, and Reagan saved it. I've seen things that you thought were just going to be the end of the world, and they weren't. I understand that doesn't mean that it's going to work out every time. I'm not a stupid optimist, but I believe that there's more hope than the people who sell you despair, because they know you'll buy despair. We're geared, we're evolved to see despair, to see fear, and they know they'll buy that. And again, I'm on a mission from God, so I don't care whether you buy it or not. These are dark days, and if your mama didn't tell you there'd be days like this, your mama lied. There are days like this. So the question is, what does God want us to do with the moment? That's always the question. It's a question of your personal life too. And I think the answer is pretty simple, but hard. The violence and retribution only serves the extremists. It only serves the extremists. And when I say the extremists, I mean the people who hate America from both sides. The nitwits on the right and the elites on the left. I think those are the people that we do not want taking over the country. And if we react by becoming them, we're done. We're done. And I'm sorry. I know, you think I don't feel it. You think I don't know that that's the natural reaction, that's what, but we who believe in something above the natural turn to that. And when you ask yourself, what does God want you to do? The answer is almost never, live out your anger, boy. That's not the answer you're going to get when you ask that question. It is always, what is the other way? And that means we're going to have to make what's left of the system into the system. We're going to have to make it work. And it will work. I'm pretty sure this verdict will be overturned. I mean, I think that the judge committed so many egregious acts against the system that I think that it will be overturned. But this is still a body blow. It's still a body blow. It's like this idea of retaliatory violence is what undermines all societies. That's why you invent a justice system. It is, this is like the trilogy of the Greeks. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's gone out of my head. The Orestean trilogy of the Greeks, that one murder, you have to answer that murder with another murder, and then you answer that murder with another murder. It just goes on forever until Athena comes and says, wait, now we're going to have justice. We're going to have a justice system, and these decisions are going to be made in the justice system. And the Furies who come out in rage after evil is committed, so that the violence just goes on forever. The Furies are going to be buried beneath the city now, and they are going to have their say, but still, they are not going to be the way we work. So this is why you have a justice system. This is why it's a body blow to have these clowns and fools and corruptocrats destroying our justice system, using it to take down this guy. But again, it doesn't matter who wins, whether it's the elites or the nitwits. They are going to take us in the wrong direction. For more Klavan-y goodness, like and subscribe, and do not forget to subscribe to The Andrew Klavan Show wherever you get your podcasts.